Hello, hello, and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has extended further into this standard target zone for this D wave, and there is no sign yet of a pullback. This year ended as a very, very shallow micro wave 4 pullback, and we want to talk about, I just accidentally deleted something. We want to talk about the microstructure of this D wave, because everything else has stayed absolutely the same, yeah? We are likely here in an Elliott wave triangle. This has been the perspective for many weeks now. I can't remember when we started to talk about a triangle. I think it was when we started to move down here in June, early in June. But even before that, the idea was that we are at least in a wave 4. And whether the wave 4 is taking a so-called flat correction shape or a triangle, well, the market has to decide that, but it for the last few weeks it seemed more likely that we're actually moving in this triangle, and it would require a break below $119 to suggest something different, and a break above 190, which is obviously the green line in our range here, to suggest that we are breaking out to the upside in a possible fifth wave and that the fourth wave already bottomed. Ideally, the fourth wave does not complete before we get a higher low. And that might be just a shallow like pullback, you know, and then rally, because this would be the E wave of the triangle. Triangles are 5-wave movements. So what we're normally watching for is an A wave, done, B wave, done, C wave, done, D wave in unfolding still. We're waiting for clear signals that wave D is over. It's not overextended, it's not overstretched, and it can technically go all the way up to 190, but the standard Fibonacci targets we've been watching are here between $161.23 to $174.26, which means the risk is already increasing that a pullback is starting, but we haven't seen any strong move down yet, and only 3-wave pullbacks so far, which technically leaves the door open for higher prices. So if from here we see a reaction, it should now be from $174.26. Any break above it will likely lead to a test of $190. Not unlikely though, yeah. What the D wave shouldn't do, however, is break above it. That would cause a change in microstructure. Yeah, we would then need to look at the structure as we go. But for now, the trend is still up, with risk higher that we start a bit of a pullback there, but there's no sign of a pullback yet. So what we want to do in this video, take a detailed look at the microstructure, yeah, for this correction, for this D wave. I call it a correction because the D wave of a triangle is a corrective rally. They are all like, you know, wave A is an ABC structure, wave B is an ABC structure, wave C is an ABC structure, wave D, and then obviously the E wave would also be an ABC structure, most likely, or WXY, so just like, you know, corrective structures. So it's quite interesting because down here we've been watching for a reversal from the, you know, I've been highlighting that the best way to probably trade this is a range trading. So you could divide, I mean, it's too late now, but we talked about it back then. You could divide this range into two halves, and you buy in the lower half and you sell in the upper half. Yeah, it's the most straightforward way of doing it. It's simple, certainly not easy, yeah, because trading reality is always difficult. Psychology comes into play, risk management, position sizing, and so on. But with cryptos, I always think it's best not to try to be too perfectionist and just, you know, adding where it makes sense, selling it where it makes sense, and then knowing where you want to get out. Because below 119, for example, we had invalidation. So we were very, very close to an invalidation point down here. So now it's all about what is the detailed wave count of this microstructure. I think it's morphed into an ABC structure. So A wave up, B wave, we can debate whether the B wave is here or here. I think it counts best actually with a C wave now as a 5-wave move that started down here on Friday the 12th. You could also label it like that. And then we have another 1, 2 here. But we'll see, you know, as long as it's holding support. So 5 waves up, yeah, we could be in the 5th wave now of that C wave. 1 second, just want to delete that green line actually, don't need that. We're now in a 5th wave potentially, let's take a look at how this fourth wave unfolded, because then we can define the absolute endpoint for this fourth wave in wave C and possibly calculate some upside fib levels. I mean, my interpretation is it could have been actually a triangle. So if we say the wave 3 here, this wave 4 might have been a triangle pattern finished here, and then what we talked about on the larger time frame this year could be just a smaller time frame equivalent. Triangle pattern A, B, C, D, E. And that means the key level that now needs to hold for higher prices is $156.50, because as soon as we get below that level, below the you could say below the low of the triangle, we have a signal that the top is in place. Now, there might be an earlier signal. And if we're dealing with this as a C wave, and the fifth wave should be a 5-wave move actually. So that means we might need one more high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is at least a possibility. Bear in mind, the fifth wave could be an ending diagonal. So really the invalidation point is the wave 2 low at $159.20. So against that level, which is a bit higher than the previous one mentioned, the focus could still be on higher, or from a different perspective, as soon as we break below this level, we have first good confirmation that a top of sorts is in place. And I think one more high is probably a reasonable expectation in wave 5 of C of D. Question is, where could it land? I mean, $174.26 is the next level. Just thinking, can we could based on the mic. I mean, okay, it's difficult to say because we haven't got a low in place for wave 4. So best way to calculate a target then would be to take the length of waves 1 and 3 of the one larger degree. We go to the end of the triangle, and then the next levels are, $177.23 is another one to watch. So I'll leave that on the chart as well. Yep. So we have two levels to watch for one more high, $174.26 and $177.23. So I'm watching for possibly one more high on the micro, and there is no top in place until we break below $159, 40, 50. That's my update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.